Hey guys, so this is my Trunda team. I just want to make a video that just goes over the stats and doesn't really talk about the uh, run itself. I'll go over the presets, but I'm not going to do a run. The current build that I'm using is a Zeal plus Savage set, gaining this damage modifier because that seems to be what is giving her the most gains now. There's a lot of improvement that can be done on the gear. I'm not looking to gain a lot of speed. I'm trying to stay within the speed tune. So like using this chest is enough without adding more glyphs. And then the banner is pretty decent. You know, there's not a ton of wasted rolls on this. This neck, obviously, if this had attack here, would be great. But we're gonna pick up the two-piece Zeal. Not Zeal, two-piece Slayer set and get the 5% crit, 15% crit damage out of it. That's just what the optimizer picked out. Like I have another ring that is on my other Trunda right now that has more attack, but this is what the optimizer likes, so this is what I went with. Crushing Rend on her, obviously this is the best blessing for any raw damage dealer in Hydra. Unless they do 100% defense ignore on their own, you can't go wrong here. 6 stars what makes it work though. 5-star is okay for Trunda as far as I'm aware, but it's not the greatest because it's the first 2 hits of each round. Whereas once you have it 6-star, it's every hit. And it's a higher percentage, 1% per 25 levels, 1% for every 10. Nightmare Hydra, I think, is level 310. So that's 31% defense ignore coming from 6-star blessing. These are her masteries right now. I've been experimenting. I think Heart of Glory is probably the better blessing, especially if you can get. The ideal thing would be to replace this with a blood shield piece, or any of these with a blood shield piece, to help Trunda stay at 100% HP for maximizing the Zeal. And then if she can stay at 100% HP, she's always going to have Heart of Glory. But right now, I don't have that shield. So Ruthless Ambush becomes more important. Lydia, she's in War Master and Master Hexer. Those are the only 2 really relevant things. I do have her in Cruelty. I have the entire team in Cruelty except for Lanicus. 3-star doesn't really gain much because they're still both 1%, and I guess since everybody's in it, getting the 3-star might help, but obviously 6-star blessings on everybody would just be the most amazing thing. She's currently in Curse set. The ideal thing is 9-piece protection, but I don't have the accessories to put her and Lanicus in 9-piece, and they both bring 2 buffs, so I'm just going to do her, or just going to do Lanicus, and I'm going to put Lydia in Cursed because she actually attacks everybody every turn with her A2, putting out the decreased defense and weaken. So that makes her a viable Cursed where the pieces are not like crazy, just enough with these pretty decent speed sets. I do have her built for damage with the 30% crit rate buff from Lanicus. But she doesn't have a lot of attack because she has a very low base attack. So she's not really doing a lot of damage on her own, but it's it is what it is. Can't really build her for anything else. because she's not going to take any hits, so you don't have to worry about survivability. I forgot to show you Trunda stats in Hydra. 70% crit rate because Lanicus is buff for the crit, 432 crit damage, 8.7k attack. So this is really low for competing at the top. I'd like to get this number higher, up to around closer to 10k ideally, while trying to maintain this crit damage. At this speed, that's a lot. But she is +4, so you do get a lot out of the +4 stats. All of these here, the empowerment, 643 attack, 15 more speed, 30% crit damage, 10% crit rate is huge. So, I mean, I only need 41% on my gear to achieve the 71. So, +4 definitely makes life a lot easier. But I only have 2 +4s on my account. Salad and Trunda. Nobody else. I don't have +4 Georgia would be insane for arena, but Lady is +2. I fed my free Vizix and I pulled a Vizix while trying to pull for shoes in. And I just fed her. The Lanicus build. She has my protection accessories. I've got her in 9-piece. The 9-piece is going to give 5% damage from each of these. I guess I could talk about it just for a second here. Allies deal 5% more damage per each buff placed by wearer. So Trunda deals 10% more damage from these 2 buffs being placed on her by Lanicus wearing this set. Her mastery is mostly irrelevant. I'm going to finish this and get lasting gifts, I think, but it's not really important because what you're going to do with this is you're just going to open, and she puts this on for 2 turns, and then every turn after that is just this. You're not relying on this extra turn mechanic. Ideally, you get it in the opener, which it has a 50% chance of granting an extra turn, and then this one extends it. So every time she gets a turn, she's just going to extend it, extend it, extend it. You never need to cast it again. Which brings me to Gerptuck. He is also in 9-piece protection. And the reason he is in 9-piece protection is because every time he takes his own turn, he's going to put up block buffs and put out this poison for his passive. But his A1 is going to go off when he ally attacks with Lanicus. Now, Lanicus doesn't pull in everybody, so it's kind of RNG how often he gets pulled in. But when he does, he'll put a continuous heal out for 1 turn. Now, I do have him in lasting gifts. The idea here is that he gets pulled in and he puts a continuous heal out for 2 turns. As long as he puts out a 2-turn heal, Lanicus can then extend it from there out, and that heal will be on for the rest of the fight. And then he can put another one out, and then that heal will stay on for the rest of the fight, as long as he procs the lasting gifts for 2 turns. If it's just 1 turn, with my current setup, it's not going to get extended. And I don't know if it matters when Lanicus goes, because he's only going to put that up when he joins in with her anyway. So I think she extends and then ally attacks. So it doesn't really matter about the turn order. It's just going to be important whether he gets the lasting gifts proc. But otherwise, it's just hitting the speeds for Hydra. 304. Atlanticus was 308, I believe. And then the Yumikos are just kind of randomly built. I don't really use them outside of Hydra now. Well, in my Seer reset teams. But 323 in Hydra, enough accuracy to land the Hex. Masteries can be whatever. They're really not relevant. And then they are in Cruelty, both of them. But their build's just about hitting the right speed and enough accuracy to land Hex, because I do have them throwing that out. So now I'll show you guys the presets. And this will kind of go over the stats again. Over here if you want to see them again. Trunda, obviously, priority A2. Lydia A2. So this is Yumiko's. And the other Yumiko's presets. You can see that they open opposite of each other. That's because you need them offset. If you have Yumiko reset and the other Yumiko immediately reset, when you come back to this one, she will not have it. It is a 5-turn cooldown and they reduce it by 3. Now, if something is a 4-turn cooldown, like Trunda's A2 is a 4-turn cooldown. Yumiko reducing it by 3 and then Trunda taking her turn is the 4th turn. But this reset is 5 turns. If your Yumikos are not offset, this will fall apart quickly. Derp Tuck is A3 priority. So every time it's his turn, he will always A3. And then when he joins in with Atlanticus is when he will A1, which is what keeps your team alive with that continuous heal. If you don't get that continuous heal, you will be in trouble. And then Atlanticus will open with her A3, like I said, and then A2 the rest of the time, extending all of those buffs. So that's the gist of how the team works. And if you have any other questions, feel free to leave a comment down here. And I'll see you guys in the next one.